Gibran left Lebanon when he was 12. He never went back. Not once. He died in New York in 1931. His body was moved to Lebanon years later. He did not feel the soil. He was not there. He wrote the Prophet in English, his third language. He wrote about home in a language he learned as a refugee. Home is not where you are from. Home is where you can still speak when everyone has told you to be silent. The ship left Beirut in 1895. He was 12 years old. His mother held his hand. His sister and brother stood beside him. The water was cold. The city was behind them. None of them knew they would never come back. Gibran thought he would return. He thought he would see the mountains of Bshari again, the stone walls and the cedar trees and the smell of the village in autumn. He thought he would walk the streets where he grew up. He thought he would die in the house where he was born, surrounded by people who spoke his language. He was wrong. He never went back. Not once. Not when his mother died. Not when his sister died. Not when his brother died. Not when his books were banned and burned in Damascus. Not when the church excommunicated him and told him he was damned. Not when Lebanon became a country and people wrote to say he was welcome now. He said no. He did not explain. Some people called it pride. Some called it stubbornness. He called it freedom. He did not argue. He had left at 12. He had built everything he was in the years after. He had learned a new language, buried his family, lived in poverty, been condemned by his church, and still written the book. Lebanon was where he was from. New York was where he had become himself. You do not go back to where you were before you became yourself. There is nothing there that fits you anymore. You think freedom means returning. Gibran learned freedom means not needing to. He did not beg. He did not write letters asking to come back. He did not spend his life waiting for permission to belong somewhere that had not wanted him. He sat in a cold room in New York and wrote a book instead. That book has been translated into over 100 languages. It has sold 100 million copies. It has gone everywhere he could not. His words crossed every border that was closed to him. They did not need permission. They did not need a ship. The first years in America were hard. He did not speak English. He did not understand the streets or the money or the way strangers looked at him. He was a boy from a mountain village in a city that did not know his name and did not care to learn it. He learned English. He learned it slowly in cold rooms, from strangers who moved on as soon as they had helped him. He learned it well enough to write. Eventually, he learned it well enough to become one of the most read writers in the world. But he never forgot Arabic. He never forgot the sound of his mother's voice in the language of his childhood, the way certain words felt in his mouth that no English word ever matched. He wrote the Prophet in English, his third language, not his first, not the language of his dreams or his grief. He wrote about home in a language he had picked up like a tool someone left behind. He learned it in rooms with no heat, from strangers who did not know his name. He wrote about belonging in a country that did not want him. He wrote about freedom while sitting in a city that had not invited him. He had no right to be there by anyone's accounting. He was there anyway. He wrote anyway. Most people spend their lives trying to return somewhere. They dream of the house they grew up in. They save money for the trip back. They imagine the moment when they will walk through the door and finally feel safe. Gibran never had that moment. He died in New York at 48. His lungs were gone. His liver was gone. He had spent everything he had on the work. He was not afraid. He had nothing left to go back to, and he had known that for years. You are waiting for a home that is not coming. You are waiting for permission to belong. You are waiting for someone to say you are welcome here. Gibran stopped waiting at 12 years old. He belonged nowhere, so he belonged everywhere. He never saw Lebanon again. He did not beg to return. He wrote a book instead. That book has been read in every country that ever closed its borders to him. What are you waiting to return to that you could simply leave behind? Here is what Gibran discovered in the years he never went home. He discovered that freedom is not the ability to return. Freedom is the ability to stop waiting to return. The moment you stop needing a place to call home, every place becomes your home. Not because every place is warm, because you have stopped requiring warmth as a condition for belonging. He wrote in the prophet, "The sea that calls all things unto her calls me, and I must embark. For to stay, though the hours burn in the night, is to freeze and crystallize and be bound in a mold." He was not writing about a ship. He was writing about what happens to people who do not leave, who stay because they are afraid, who wait for permission that is never coming, who freeze in place because movement feels like loss. He had watched people do that. He had almost done it himself. He chose the ship instead. The only thing you can do is keep moving, keep writing, keep making, keep giving. The home you are looking for is not behind you. It is not ahead of you either. It is not a place. It is the silence in a cold room where you have finally stopped waiting for someone to let you in. He never went home. He wrote the prophet instead. His words entered churches that banned him. They reached countries that exiled him. They were read in the village of Shari by people who had never heard his name spoken aloud without judgment. They were read in languages he had never spoken, by people he would never meet in countries he had never seen. He did not need to return. He had already arrived. He had arrived the moment he stopped asking permission. Gibran died in New York in 1931. He was 48 years old. He had spent his last years in a small room on West 10th Street with a lamp and a pen and a view of the street below. He did not complain. He did not ask to go home. He talked about the work. The work was his home. It had been for decades. His friends said he did not look afraid in his final weeks. He looked like a man who had already arrived somewhere no one else could see. Years later, his body was moved to Lebanon. They buried him in Shari in the monastery of Mar Sarkis, in the mountain village where he was born. He did not feel the soil. He was not there. He had already left, not in 1931, but in 1895 on a ship, holding his mother's hand, watching the city of Beirut disappear behind them. He never needed to go back. He had written everything he needed to say. The words had gone where he could not. They had crossed every border that was closed to him. They had entered every room that had refused him. He did not need to follow. He had already been there on every page, in every language for anyone who needed to hear it. That was enough. It was more than enough. I speak only what I know. I speak only what I know. I speak only what I know.